Welcome back to the Ponca City Monthly podcast. I'm your host, Andy. And, we're getting deep into March. I literally started working on the April issue of Ponca City Monthly this week. So that's always the signal that we're halfway through the month and it's time to get busy. If you listened to the podcast last week, you got to hear my rant about the time change and how much I hate it. That always seems to be a big topic around this time of year. But once we pass the time change window, then, there's nobody ever talks about it again until the next time change. So that frustrates me. Anyway, I hope you guys are having a great week. In the March issue, we have a lot of great stories, but one in particular is about the Child Development Center here in Ponca City. And what's unique about it is it started in 1967 and it's been a staple for the community. And so I thought that for this month or for this week, it would be great to bring in Executive Director for the Child Development Center, Mary Beth Hunt. Mary Beth, how are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you, Andy?
Thank you for dropping in with us today. Have you had to suffer through any of the allergies?
No, I'm not. My youngest son has allergies. So you can tell that it's a big thing for him.
Are you from around here? Did you grow up here?
Yes. Yeah. So I grew up in Ponca City.
Okay.
And
so you're kind of used to the allergies and stuff.
Yeah,
I'm a big city kid. This is terrible for me.
No, my sister has been different places. She lived in California and Minnesota, and they moved back here a couple years ago, and it just hit her. She's like, the allergies here. I forgot what they were like.
Yeah. A great article this month about the Child Development Center. Now, you guys call it the CDC, correct?
It's not the Centers for Disease Control.
Don't call them with an emergency.
Yeah. I'm not going to be able to help you.
So, you started in 1967. That's quite a history. Now, I'm looking at you, and you seem a little too young to have started with the company.
Yes, I feel old, but I'm not. I wasn't around in 1967. So, no, it started with a group of women. It was a group called the Church Women United, and it was, ladies from different churches. And they had a group, and they really wanted to know if there was a need for a childcare that was based on your income and your family size. And they did a survey, and they found out that 78 families needed it. Wow. And so that's kind of where it started and where it began. And then so it started in January of 1967. So and it's been all kinds of places. I mean, this town has helped us be around for as long as we've been around. Sure. We were at First Christian Church. They had 5 kids on the very first day. They went up to 30, and then they were at another place, and then another place, and then they were over by Phillips. Mm-hmm. There was an old elementary school called Jefferson, I think. Okay. And it was there for a while. And so the schools, they were in a contract with the schools at the time. They got it for $1 a year or whatever. And they were there for a while. And then thankfully the YMCA also gifted the building to Child Development Center. And they did a huge capital campaign where so many people from the community helped make that building into what it is. It was amazing. Turned it into from a Y into a child care center. Wow. And we, as a board, kind of decided okay, hey, this is a great building. Here we are. Mm-hmm. We just a strategic visioning with the girls at Pioneer Tech, mm-hmm. and with Molly Kyler and Brooke and Jen, and we as a board, we just kind of hey, we all decided our vision was to be bigger, to expand. That was kind of our dream. How does that even look? What does that look like? Because where we were going to have to stay. We couldn't increase our capacity and serve more families, and how was that going to look like? And then it just, a couple months later, started talking to Adam about possible ways that we could help with we could partner together for childcare to help the school employees. And it just kind of happened. And now we're at the Washington Pre-K Center, and it is amazing.
So you said it was originally in a school building, and then now they left there, and now they're coming back. So did they lose that tie? What happened?
Yes, yeah. So
I'm asking you questions like you're the historian or something.
well, I mean, but they have, I think, well, we have a lot of scrapbooks and a lot of things that I think we actually keep a lot of the Church of Women United, because they disband, but we have all of their record. I think we're the holder of them. I don't know that, but we do have those things. So, I don't know what necessarily happened, but that school was in very disrepair.
Okay.
So, I think at that point they had, fixed and done the things, and it was just like, it wasn't. So,
Sure.
yeah.
That's what happens with old buildings.
And I have no idea what happened after that. So I don't know.
When did you come into the picture?
I started in 2017.
Okay.
So June of that year.
Wow, you've been there almost 10 years. How does that feel?
I can't believe it. I can't, because I taught in the Ponca City Public Schools for about 10 years. And my oldest son, when I was going to school, at OSU, he went to the Child Development Center. And so, we were a family that was on the sliding scale, and, we paid a very small fee for him to go there. And it was an amazing place. And I always kind of thought in the back of my mind, like, wow, like this would be kind of a cool job, but not like really thinking, I don't know. I love early childhood. That was kind of just my jam. And, and then it came across my Facebook, and it said something to apply, and I'm like, let's just try, and here I am. So
that's very cool. So you mentioned you were a school teacher. Were you an early childhood educator?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I was like, because I was thinking like going from like senior English to early childhood would be kind of a shock.
Yeah, that'd be no, I love early childhood. I remember when I was decided my major, I was like, I don't want to go older than third grade. Like that's just not. I don't know. They just have an attitude after that. But before that, man, those kids, they love you. They're honest, very honest. Sometimes maybe a little bit too much for yourself. But like, Mrs. Hunt, why do you have that on your eye? Or why do you have a mustache? I'm like, oh my God, things like that. Yeah. So believe me, I could tell you stories. Stories are fun. But I taught kindergarten for most of the time at Liberty Elementary. So,
nice.
I love that school. Love Ponca City Public Schools. So it was just it's a good partnership.
Did you always want to be a childhood educator or a child educator? Like, did you start out like that?
I think so. My mom is a longtime special education teacher here in Ponca City.
Okay.
And so I think sometimes I just think you're born with it. I think sometimes it just kind of comes naturally to some people. And I remember saying, Mom, I think I want to be a teacher. And she's like, I think you could do something else. And I'm like, oh, okay. And then, you spend a couple years wasting money and school on something that wasn't you. And as soon as I picked early childhood, then, you get straight A's and you go through and do all the things. So
nice.
Teaching was, definitely.
Teaching was in your blood.
I think so.
You said your mom was a special ed teacher.
Wow, and she is still teaching, by the way.
Those people are like special angels. Those people who work with special ed.
My mom is an angel.
Yeah.
For sure. She really is.
Did you ever go into special ed?
I did my last 2 years. Okay. I was over at Woodlands, and I was the resource teacher there. Okay. So, yeah. Nice. And I love that too. That was great.
For you, what has been the biggest transition for you from going from like a public school setting to like this setting?
I mean, I think I was probably like like a little doe-eyed a little bit, But I had help. I mean, my board has been amazing from the beginning. There's been people coming in and out. But I've always had a supportive board, and they've always been there for anything that's come up that I don't have experience with. And I also have, I like to work as teams. I like people. I like to ask, like, what do you think? How is this? I just really I like teams. Yeah. And so I had a lot of people that I could call and say, hey, this has happened. What would you do? How, help me talk this out. And I have a great assistant director. Rebecca is wonderful, and she I couldn't do without her. So if she wouldn't be there, I don't know what would happen. But I don't know. You just kind of adjust, and now I do something different every day.
Sure.
Every day something different. I cannot tell you something I do on the same day except payroll. Payroll every other week is the only thing I can tell you that I'm doing on a Thursday morning. Right. But other than that, it just, everything else, which kind of keeps it exciting. Yeah. And,
I think when you work with kids, you have to be pretty flexible just to go with whatever's happening that day.
100%. Yes. Got to be flexible.
I was going to ask this, and you may not know the answer, but I was reading that, you started in 1967 with a sliding scale. Do you know if that was common place for?
I don't know the answer to that, but I don't think so, because I think it must have been. I think it must have been, because we're the only one around here that is that still. So I would say yes, probably. Okay. And I've been to some nonprofit conferences, and usually they're like, "What are you?" And you don't ever see somebody that's a childcare that's also a nonprofit. It just doesn't. It's just so I don't know. I think we're maybe one of the only ones around.
Sure. Pretty rare though.
Yeah.
Right? So that kind of answers my next question, because I was going to ask, because you keep mentioning a board, you're a nonprofit?
Yes, we are a nonprofit. So so we get our funding from donations and grants, and
which is how you're able to do the sliding scale.
Correct. Yeah, yes. Yeah. And we are a United Way agency. So we're a very, very proud United Way agency partner. And we've been a partner with them since early 70s. Mm-hmm. I want to say 72 or 73. Okay. And I don't have that information. The old director, Melissa Young, I remember her telling me that one time, but don't quote me on that.
Sometime in the early 70s.
Sometime in the early 70s, we have been a United Way partner agency. So yes, because of them and because of this town, we're able to provide that sliding scale and to families that, that need it, that don't qualify for subsidy, or, and don't make enough. Sure. That's a lot of people, and especially now.
I'm thinking of that old saying of, it takes a village. I sort of feel that way because, especially when you have young kids, everybody nowadays, I feel like, has multiple jobs. So I could see a program like the Child Development Center being essential to allow these people to continue to work and, make money.
Absolutely. And that's been the mission forever, is to provide affordable childcare, but nurturing, secure, letting the parents be comfortable so they can go to work and they can go to school and they can do what they need to do. It helps Ponca City too, right? To have people in the workforce and all those kind of things. So childcare is important.
So tell me a little bit about the new building. When did you move in? I feel like we maybe did a story or something, so maybe it was a little while ago.
We moved in August.
Oh, okay.
So August. So yeah, it was.
Right.
Oh my gosh, we were so lucky. We had so many volunteers, and we had planned for, all day. It was going to be like 8 a.m. till 5. We didn't really know, and Tara Goldman and I looked at each other, the United Way director. She looks at me and she said, "It's like 12 o'clock," and we're like, "We're done."
Wow.
And we're like, it was just amazing. We had the girls wrestling team volunteered, nice. And they were amazing. Cool. Their coach and those girls, such a great group of girls, and they helped so. They were carrying shells on their hand. We had P66. We had just people that we just knew, just a neighbor, like a guy that used to work with my husband. He just showed up. I said, hi. And he's like, I heard you needed some help. And he brought a dolly. I don't know. It was neat to see a community come together and get an entire building moved to another building.
Yeah.
So
you mentioned that the move was really propelled forward by your wanting to expand and do some expansion. Is that an expansion of services or just an expansion of having more kids?
Both.
Okay.
Both. Yeah, because in our building we couldn't expand. The way that it was set up and the way that it was done, there wasn't, because because we're a DHS license, so there's certain rules about the square footage of a room and how many kids can be in that room, and then of course the age of the kid and how many teachers and all that kind of stuff. So where we were at, we were maxed out. Like there was no
wiggle room.
There was no wiggle room.
Yeah, nowhere.
We had kind of already done what we could to make that make more spots, but there was no more. There was no more expansion. So yes, so this building is ginormous, and so we're able to serve more kids, and the potential to do different programs, maybe doing an after school or anything else. I mean, we have the opportunity to do lots of different things, and I think that's exciting to think about, and we want to provide that too. And I think right now it's probably really needed.
Yeah. So you were talking about that this new building allows you to do some expanded services and take more kids. So tell me a little bit about what you're hoping to see with expanded services, or is it just to take in more kids?
We couldn't expand. The way that it was set up and the way that it was done, there wasn't. Because because we're a DHS license, so there's certain rules about the square footage of a room and how many kids can be in that room, and then of course the age of the kid and how many teachers and all that kind of stuff. So where we were at, we were maxed out. Like there was no
wiggle room.
There was no wiggle room.
Yeah, nowhere.
We had kind of already done what we could to make that make more spots, but there was no more. There was no more expansion. So yes, so this building is ginormous, and so we're able to serve more kids, and the potential to do different programs, maybe doing an after school or anything else. I mean, we have the opportunity to do lots of different things, and I think that's exciting to think about, and we want to provide that too. And I think right now it's probably really needed. So.
Yeah, for sure. So what are some of you were talking about expanding some of the, I talk with my hands.
No, I do too. No, I know. I was like,
I have to sit on them.
You don't have to sit on them. Hey, talk with your hands. I like it.
You were talking that the new facility gives you expanded service spaces. So what are some of the services that you're hoping to expand on or have expanded on?
Well, right now we've just increased our number.
Okay. Yeah,
so that's kind of what. So I don't know. So I know people talk about COVID, but right before we shut down 6 years ago with the world, we had 103 kids. And ever since then, we have never been back up to that number.
Okay.
Whether it's other facilities opening, whether it's just workforce. I mean, we don't know. It never got back to that number. And so, but moving over there, we have increased our number. We also, because there's other rooms and there's more, we can increase the number to even more. Maybe we could do a summer camp someday. I have no idea.
Sure.
I'm just throwing things out there. Please don't quote me on that.
Call for the summer camp now.
Yeah, but the thing is that we can, and that we want to, and I have a board that's very supportive and wants to do that as well. And so, and also a board that is very, we did another strategic visioning, board retreat, and just talk about, okay, so now that we've expanded, what do we do now? Yeah. Like what are our, weaknesses? What are our, threats and things like that? What can we do? And so, we're working on that, and we have action steps, and it's nice to see things like that we can move forward and potentially open things like that,
And do different things.
So what I mean programs, I mean like after school care.
Sure. I have to admit that I don't have a child that would be childcare age. And it's been a really long time since I've even been remotely in that situation. So walk me through sort of like what your day is like, kind of. I know you said you don't have a normal day, but pretend like you're somebody that has a semi-regular day. You have when you're 20, you have 25 workers. Is that what the article said?
We do.
You have 25, and you said one of your workers has been with you for a really long time.
Well, yes, one of our Miss Buffy, she was actually my oldest son, Ashton. That was his 3-year-old teacher.
Oh, wow.
So I think she left sometime in between. He's 24. So,
Because you've been an institution since 1967, like we were talking about before we turned the cameras on, you have entire generations of families that have grown up utilizing this service.
oh yeah.
So yeah. So walk me through like what a day is like for one of your general workers, not you.
Okay. They,
Everything.
you know, the kids come in and, you know, they're either doing some table toy games or they're playing in centers. Then if they're older, if they're 3 and older, they go downstairs to the cafeteria, which is really cool that we have that right now. Kind of gets those kids ready for school when they go next year, you know, getting the experience of eating in a cafeteria, which is, you know, could be scary, I guess. It could be. So, I mean, they've got that experience. So then they'll eat. If they're younger, they eat in the classroom. And then, you know, they go in centers, they go outside, they go to the playground or they go to the gym. You know, and they do circle time, they sing songs, they dance, they move, they learn, you know, we talk a lot about social emotional learning and things like that. We're a pyramid model site. And what that means is it's an upside down pyramid. And it's about behavior and how we can reach the 80% of the kids by doing certain positive behavior things. And then just kind of seeing like who else needs more work, more intervention. Intervention is just the key basically for behavior, I mean, 0 through 5 is such an important age for their brain development, for so much that it's just important to get intervention early and teach those social emotional learning skills. And, you know, we have 3 behavior expectations. We have a coach that comes. We're kind of just getting more into that program. It's kind of a 3 to 5 year kind of implementation thing. So we've been doing it for a couple of years. So it's just kind of, it's giving kids consistency that our workforce doesn't necessarily always provide, just because it's a
never-ending cycle.
I mean, there's turnover a lot, and I think everyone sees that, and I think everyone sees that. And so, how can we improve that, and how can we help the kids be consistent? So, and a way to do that is having these behavior expectations. But we have like 3 of them. So, like, we are safe, we are kind, and we are respectful. And so, just speaking that common language from the time they're a bit infant all the way until they leave is awesome, because they're going to know, you know, maybe their teacher changed, but the next one is still expecting them. We are kind, we are respectful.
So it's like what you were saying, you're reinforcing those values so that as they grow and start to experience the world, they have kind of that mental safety net to fall into.
I hope so. I mean, that's what I hope. I hope we make a difference. That's what you want to do. So.
Sure. So now I want to reverse this. We've been talking about being what it's like to work there, but now let's say that I am a parent and I need childcare. How do I go about contacting you and getting in contact with you? Or, you know, what if you know, I'm a parent and I don't see the point in early childcare, you know, development or whatever, you know?
Oh yeah, it's so important. I mean, to get those kids in some sort of, you know, structured environment before they go to school, it really is important, because I mean, not only can maybe there's a delay, or maybe there's things that you could get early intervention on that's going to help them later down the road in their school journey.
So you don't have a kid like me who stands at the school bus line and just cries his eyes out.
I know, and you don't want that. It's sad. Now, I'm not going to say
It was the 80s.
I know. Oh my gosh, I think I was the same.
It was the 80s. It was the 80s.
We did. I cried in kindergarten too. I remember I didn't want my dad to leave.
I think I cried until first grade.
That's okay. But I mean, and some of those kids still come to daycare, and that still happens because they have big emotions, and that's what we're learning, and we're learning to figure out, you know, what to do with those big emotions. Sometimes adults don't know what to do with their big emotions.
There are some days I cry at work.
Yeah, same. So, you know, it's just us teaching those kids. So a parent if they're really, you know, interested in us, giving us a call. And, come and you can come have a tour of the building, talk more about, Rebecca can talk to you about like if we have any spots available, if you would maybe qualify for our sliding scale, things like that. We are working on a website. Our website was kind of really old and
Happens.
like really old. It had like that little jumpy little like the graphic from I don't know.
If you describe your website like this, then yeah, it's old.
Yeah, it's like old. Yeah, it was old. So we have some people working on that. So we want to have something where they can go onto a website and be able to click on a waitlist application and do things from that. But we're just really old right now still. And so, they would just need to come in, come into the building or just call us. If you don't want to come, just call. We can send, a wait list, over email if we want to. But I really do encourage people to come in and just see what we do.
Yeah.
Come take a tour, come see, what we can offer. And I hope that they walk in and have the feeling that I have when I walk in, because you want to feel welcome. You want to, feel good. You know, you want to feel good. And I hope that people can come in and see that. Because that's, in the end of the day, that's what you want kids to feel. And you want parents to feel that too. So
you mentioned way back at the beginning of this podcast that you worked with Pioneer Tech. So how does that work? How do you work with them? Or did they just help you with sort of the... Well,
it's that business industry services. So it's the one that anybody can use, and it's free. Those girls and men, I know there's some boys too. Yeah. They're just amazing. I will say some of the girls have been on my board, or I might be really best friends with one of them. So we talk a lot. Her and I will talk Brooke, Lindsay. Hi, Brooke. Yeah. We talk a lot about things like that. She just is very inspiring, and they're just very helpful. And so, but any board can do that. The strategic planning, that they have all kinds of things that they can help people with. They can help you start a business. They can help you with your website. They can do so much. That is an amazing program.
Or like you said, they can help you expand your business. I did want to tell you, I think Brooke Lindsay is one of my favorite graphic designers here in town. She is fantastic, and I'm always thrilled when I see her work.
Isn't she so awesome?
Yeah, she does some amazing work.
She is the one that redid our logo. So we used to have like a logo, and it had like these 3 blocks, and she was like, I've got to do, I need to change that. So she did, and that's what's on our building, and we love it.
I always recommend that people reach out to Pioneer Tech and their business development, because they are such great people, and they are so very helpful and knowledgeable about all aspects of business.
Yeah, they're just so knowledgeable, and I just look up to them, and I'm just thankful that we can have people like that in Ponca that can help businesses and, help our Ponca City.
So you all recently had your business ribbon cutting, I guess like not an opening, but a reopening. Those are usually less stressful. But yeah, you had that, I believe, on January 21st of this year. So you guys just recently celebrated that. How was that?
We did. Yeah, we did. I am such a silly nerd. I cry all the time now. I'm like, oh my God, I don't know if it's because I'm 45 and I'm going to go through menopause soon or something or what. But man, it's a little embarrassing. So I'm sorry for that. I apologize for crying.
Hey, cry, it's cool. All right, Mary Beth. Well, thank you so much for dropping in with us today and telling us a little bit about the Child Development Center. If people want to reach out, I'm sure your website is still up.
I think it says it's under construction.
Okay.
We do have a Facebook page.
We do have a Facebook page.
We do have that, yeah.
That's how I reached out to you.
Yeah. Yes.
All right. Well, reach out to the Child Development Center through their Facebook page, or give them a call, schedule a time to come and tour the facility. You can meet up with the 25 fantastic workers they have, and maybe Mary Beth. But yeah, the Child Development Center is a great place. So Mary Beth, thank you so much for dropping in with us today.
Thanks, Andy.
Come back next week for another great episode of our podcast. I believe next week we're going to be diving into The Outsiders. It's their 50th or 25th or something like that anniversary. It's a big anniversary for The Outsiders. So we're going to be talking about The Outsiders and its impact on Oklahoma. So join us for that. Hey, if you haven't, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, and check in with us every week. Thank you so much. Have a great week.